This moment may feel like an ordinary part of your day, but it is not what it seems. Beneath this quiet pause is a powerful opening, a space where something new can enter your life. Right now, without effort, without force, you are standing at the doorway of change. Not the loud kind of change that shakes everything apart, but the gentle kind that arrives softly, like light through a window. This is the kind of change that feels safe, calm, and deeply right. Take a slow breath in, let it fill your chest, not just your lungs. Then breathe out gently, as if you are setting something heavy down. You do not need to rush. You do not need to prepare. Simply being here is enough. This moment is inviting you to soften, to loosen the grip you may not even realize you are holding. Life does not ask you to push right now. It asks you to receive. There is a quiet truth many people forget when they wake up each day. Life is not something you have to fight against. It is something that wants to move with you. From the moment you open your eyes in the morning, life is already offering support, guidance, and small, unseen miracles. But when the mind is tense and the heart is guarded, those gifts pass by unnoticed. This is why mornings matter. They set the tone for how you meet everything that follows. As you begin this day, allow yourself to pause instead of rush. Let your body relax into the present moment. Feel where you are sitting or standing. Feel the weight of your body being supported. You do not have to hold yourself up alone. You never did. There is something deeply comforting about realizing that you are not carrying life by yourself. Life has always been carrying you. When you slow down, even for a few breaths, you give yourself permission to hear what is usually drowned out by noise, beneath the thoughts, beneath the worries, beneath the planning. There is a steady calm. That calm has been waiting for your attention. It is not new. It has always been there. It is the place where trust begins. This is a moment to gently remind yourself that today does not need to be controlled. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to follow a strict plan to be meaningful. Today can unfold naturally. When you allow that, you begin to notice that life responds differently. Things feel lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Even challenges feel less heavy when you stop meeting them with tension. Miracles do not always arrive with bright signs or dramatic changes. Most of the time, they come quietly. They come as a sense of peace where there used to be worry. They come as clarity where there used to be confusion. They come as unexpected ease where you thought only struggle was possible. But miracles need space. They need openness. They need a heart that is not clenched shut by fear. Trust does not remove challenges, but it changes how you meet them. You meet them with steadiness instead of panic, with openness instead of resistance. This moment is enough. You do not need to rush ahead or return to the past. Everything that matters is happening now, in this quiet awareness. Life is not waiting for you to become someone else. It is responding to who you are right now. You are allowed to relax. You are allowed to trust. You are allowed to believe that good things can arrive without struggle. When you soften your grip on control, you make room for life to move freely. Let today unfold gently. Let yourself be guided. Let miracles arrive in their own way, at their own pace. You do not need to chase what already knows how to find you. Everything is unfolding as it should. You are supported, held, and guided. And in this trust, peace becomes your natural state. This is why this moment matters. You are creating space. You are opening a door. You are saying without words that you are willing to trust today a little more than yesterday. You are willing to let life meet you halfway. That willingness alone is powerful. It shifts something deep inside you. You do not need to believe in anything special. You do not need to understand how things work behind the scenes. You only need to allow yourself to be present. Presence is where life can reach you. Presence is where support can find you. When you are fully here, even for a short while, you send a quiet signal that says, I am open. Let your breath become steady and natural. There is no right way to breathe. There is only your way. With each breath out, imagine releasing the need to control how today will go. With each breath in, imagine welcoming whatever goodness is already on its way to you. You do not have to search for it. You do not have to chase it. What is meant for you knows how to find you. This is not about doing more. It is about allowing more, allowing rest, allowing trust, allowing life to surprise you. Many people spend their days trying to make things happen, pushing and forcing, believing that effort alone creates results. But there is another way to live, a softer way, a way where you cooperate with life instead of wrestling it. As this morning unfolds, let it be gentle, let it be open, let it be guided by trust rather than fear. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where you need to be right now. This moment is proof of that. There is a common misunderstanding about miracles. Many people believe miracles arrive only after great effort, struggle, or sacrifice. They think miracles must be earned through exhaustion or constant effort, but the truth is much simpler and much kinder. Miracles do not arrive when you are tense and overworked. They arrive when you are open. Openness is not about doing nothing. It is about releasing resistance. It is about letting go of the idea that you must control every detail of your life for things to turn out well. Control often comes from fear, even when it looks like responsibility or planning. It comes from the belief that if you loosen your grip, everything will fall apart. But life does not fall apart when you relax. It often falls into place. When your mind is crowded with worry, there is no room for new solutions to enter. When your heart is tight with fear, there is no space for ease to flow in. Miracles need room. They need a clear path. Openness creates that path naturally, without force. Think about how tension feels in your body. Tight shoulders, shallow breathing, restless thoughts. That tension sends a message to life that says, I do not trust. Life responds to that message by meeting you at the same level of tension. But when you soften, even slightly, the message changes. It becomes, I am willing to receive. Life responds differently to that message. You may not notice the shift right away. It can be subtle, but over time, you begin to see changes. Conversations feel easier. Decisions feel less heavy. Opportunities appear where you thought there were none. This is not because you tried harder. It is because you allowed more. Openness does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying everything by yourself. It means you allow life to participate in your journey. You were never meant to figure everything out alone. Support has always been available, waiting for you to stop pushing it away. Many people confuse control with safety. They believe that if they plan enough, worry enough, or prepare for every possible outcome, they will be safe. But true safety does not come from control. It comes from trust. Trust creates calm, and calm allows you to respond wisely instead of reacting from fear. When you are open, you become flexible. You can adapt. You can see options you could not see before. Control narrows your vision. Openness expands it. Control tightens your world. Openness makes it wider and kinder. Miracles often show up in ways you did not expect. That is why control blocks them. When you decide in advance exactly how something must happen, you leave no room for a better way to appear. Openness says, I don't need to know how. I am willing to be surprised. Life loves that kind of invitation. This does not mean you stop setting intentions. It means you hold them gently, like holding water in open hands instead of squeezing it tightly. When you squeeze, it slips away. When you open your hands, it stays. Right now, you can practice openness in a very simple way. Notice if there is something you are gripping tightly in your mind, a worry, an expectation, a fear about how today should go. You do not need to fix it, just notice it. Awareness alone begins the release. Then gently remind yourself that you do not need to control everything for things to be okay. You can trust that life has more intelligence than your fear. Life has been moving long before you were aware of it, and it will continue to move with or without your resistance. When you move with it, everything feels easier. Openness is a quiet strength. It does not announce itself. It does not need approval. It simply allows. And in that allowing, something shifts. Energy moves again. Stuck situations begin to loosen. You begin to feel supported instead of alone. Miracles are not rare events reserved for special moments. They are natural responses to openness. When you relax your grip on how things must be, you make room for how things can be. And often, what can be is far better than what you imagined. This morning is an opportunity to practice that openness, not by doing anything new, but by releasing something old. Release the belief that you must force life to cooperate. Release the fear that if you stop controlling, you will lose everything. What is truly meant for you does not require force. It responds to trust. Life is always moving. Even when it feels stuck, something beneath the surface is shifting, like a river flowing under calm water. Life carries direction, timing, and wisdom you cannot always see. When you trust that flow, you stop fighting the current and begin to move with it. Fighting the flow of life is exhausting. It feels like swimming upstream, always struggling, always tired. Trusting the flow feels different. It feels like being carried, not passively, but cooperatively. You still move, you still choose, but you are no longer pushing against something greater than you. Trust does not mean you will never face challenges. It means you will face them with less fear. When you trust life's flow, challenges feel like guidance instead of punishment. You begin to ask different questions. Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What is this teaching me?" That shift changes everything. When you trust life, you stop demanding immediate answers. You allow clarity to arrive in its own time. This creates peace. Peace does not come from knowing everything. It comes from trusting that you will know what you need when you need it. Flow is not about rushing. It is about rhythm. Everything in nature moves in rhythm. Day follows night. Seasons change without force. Growth happens quietly. Life does not hurry, yet everything gets done. When you trust this rhythm, you stop feeling behind. You realize there is no race. Many people feel anxious because they believe they are late, behind, or missing something important, but life does not work that way. There is no single timeline you are failing to follow. There is only your path, unfolding at the pace that serves you best. Trusting life. Flow means letting go of comparison. Comparison pulls you out of your own rhythm and into someone else's. When you trust your own timing, you stop measuring your progress against others. You begin to honor where you are. Flow also brings softness. When you stop resisting, your body relaxes. Your thoughts slow down. You become more present. Presence allows you to notice small signs of support that were always there, but hidden by stress. You may notice that when you trust more, things feel less heavy. Even when nothing outside has changed, something inside has. That inner change is powerful. It changes how you respond, how you speak, how you decide. Life responds to that shift. Trust is built moment by moment. You do not need to trust everything at once. You only need to trust this moment. Trust that you are breathing. Trust that you are supported right now. Trust that you do not need to solve your whole life today. When you trust life's flow, you begin to feel guided, not controlled, not pushed, but gently led. You start to notice that certain things fall away naturally. Things that no longer fit do not require struggle to release. They simply drift out of your life as new things drift in. Flow brings ease, but it also brings clarity. When you are no longer consumed by resistance, you can hear your inner guidance more clearly. You know when to act and when to wait. You know when to speak and when to stay quiet. That knowing feels calm, not urgent. Life does not ask you to have blind faith. It asks you to notice your own experience. Look back at your life. Notice how many times something that felt wrong at first later made sense. Notice how many times you were protected by delays you once resented. That is the flow at work. Right now, you can choose to trust just a little more. You do not need to let go of everything. You only need to loosen your grip enough to breathe. Trust grows naturally when you give it room. As you move through this day, remind yourself that you do not need to force life to cooperate. You are already part of it. The flow is not outside of you. It moves through you. When you stop resisting, you feel it. trusting life's flow does not mean giving up your dreams. It means allowing them to reach you in the best way possible. It means understanding that what is truly meant for you will arrive without struggle, and when it does, it will feel right, calm, and aligned. Let today be an experiment in trust. Notice what happens when you soften instead of tighten. Notice how life responds when you stop pushing and start allowing. This is where ease begins. This is where miracles quietly gather, waiting for your openness to invite them in. There are moments in life when things do not make sense. Plans change without warning. Orts do not bring the results you expected. Doors close when you were sure they would open. In those moments, the mind quickly jumps to fear. It starts telling stories that something has gone wrong, that you made a mistake, that life is working against you. But this is only one way of seeing what is happening, and it is not the full picture. From where you are standing right now, you can only see a small part of the path. It is like looking at a pattern from very close. You see loose threads, uneven lines, and pieces that seem out of place. From this view, it can feel messy and confusing. But step back and the picture changes. From a wider view, those same threads begin to form something meaningful. What looked like disorder begins to show purpose. Life works in the same way. There is a larger design moving through your experiences, even when you cannot see it. Just because something feels uncomfortable does not mean it is wrong. Just because something ended does not mean it failed. Many times, endings are simply redirections. They are life gently moving you away from what no longer fits and toward what does. It is easy to trust when things are going well. It is harder when things feel uncertain, but trust matters most in those uncertain moments. When you remind yourself that everything is unfolding correctly, you give your nervous system permission to relax. You stop fighting the present moment and begin to work with it. Acceptance does not mean you like everything that happens. It means you stop arguing with reality. When you stop arguing, your energy becomes free again. That free energy can then be used for healing, clarity, and growth instead of stress and resistance. Many people believe that if something feels hard, it must be wrong, but growth often feels uncomfortable. Change often feels unclear at first. Life does not always move in straight lines. Sometimes it loops back, pauses, or takes a longer route. That does not mean you are lost. It means you are being guided in a way that serves you more deeply. You may not understand now why certain things are happening the way they are. That understanding often comes later when you look back with a calmer heart. One day, you may realize that what you thought was a setback was actually protection. What you thought was delay was preparation. What you thought was loss was space being made for something better. When you tell yourself that everything is unfolding correctly, you are not ignoring reality. You are choosing a wider view. You are choosing to trust that life has more information than your fear. That trust brings peace, even when answers are not yet clear. This belief allows you to rest, not to give up, but to stop exhausting yourself by trying to control what cannot be controlled. Resting in trust creates inner stability. From that stability, you can respond to life with wisdom instead of panic. Right now, whatever you are facing, you can hold it with a little more softness. You do not need to rush to fix it. You do not need to force clarity. You can allow things to unfold step by step. Life knows the order. Life knows the timing. Remind yourself gently that you are not broken, behind, or failing. You are in process, and process is not a problem. It is how things become whole. Waiting is one of the hardest parts of life. Waiting for answers, waiting for change, waiting for something you deeply desire. During waiting, the mind often creates pressure. It asks, "Why is this taking so long?" Or, "What if it never happens?" These thoughts create tension, and that tension makes waiting feel painful. But timing is not punishment. Timing is protection. Timing is wisdom. There are things that cannot arrive too early without causing harm. There are experiences that need preparation, not because you are lacking, but because you are growing into them. Life does not delay things to hurt you. It delays things to align you. Sometimes you need to become stronger, calmer, or clearer before something enters your life. Sometimes other pieces need to fall into place first. You may not see those pieces moving, but they are. When something has not happened yet, it does not mean it is being denied. Often, it means it is being refined. The version of you who will receive it is still forming. The situation itself may also be changing behind the scenes. Timing works on many levels at once. Trusting timing means releasing the pressure of now. It means understanding that rushing does not create readiness. Readiness comes from alignment, not force. When you are aligned, things move with less effort. They feel natural instead of strained. You can notice this in small moments. Think of times when something worked out easily after you stopped pushing for it. Think of moments when the right conversation happened at the right time, without planning. That is timing at work. Divine timing does not follow clocks or calendars. It follows truth. It responds to when things are truly ready, not when fear demands relief. When you trust this, waiting becomes softer. It becomes a space of preparation instead of frustration. You are not wasting time while you wait. You are becoming, you are learning patience, trust, and inner stability. These qualities are not delays. They are gifts that support everything that comes next. When you remind yourself that timing is working in your favor, your body relaxes, your breath deepens, you stop feeling chased by the future. You return to the present moment where peace actually lives. What is meant for you will arrive at the right moment. Not too early, not too late. And when it arrives, you will understand why it could not have come before. Until then, you are being cared for in ways you may not yet recognize. Holding on too tightly is exhausting. Whether it is holding on to fear, expectations, past experiences, or the need to control outcomes, Tightness drains energy. It keeps the body tense and the mind restless. Letting go, on the other hand, creates space. Space to breathe, space to heal, space to receive. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what is not yours to control. There are things you can influence, and there are things you cannot. Peace comes from knowing the difference and acting accordingly. When you try to hold everything together by force, you place yourself in constant struggle. But when you release the need to manage every detail, something shifts. Life begins to support you in quieter ways. You notice help arriving naturally instead of through effort. Many people fear letting go because they think it means losing something important. But what is truly meant for you does not disappear when you relax. It stays. What leaves when you let go was already unstable. It was already asking to be released. Letting go allows life to rearrange itself in healthier ways. It allows solutions to appear that you could not have planned. It allows peace to enter places where stress once lived. Peace is not found by fixing everything. It is found by trusting enough to stop fixing what does not need fixing. When you let go, your nervous system settles, your thoughts slow down, you become more present and responsive instead of reactive. There is a deep relief in realizing that you do not have to control the outcome to be okay. You can do your part and then allow the rest to unfold. This balance is where peace lives. Letting go is a practice. It happens again and again, sometimes many times a day. Each time you notice tension, you have an opportunity to soften. Each time you notice fear, you have an opportunity to release it a little. Peace grows from these small moments of release. Over time, it becomes a steady presence instead of a rare feeling. And from that peace, life begins to feel kinder, clearer, and more supportive. You do not need to force peace to arrive. Peace is what remains when you stop forcing everything else. Words have quiet power, not because of how loud they are, but because of how they shape what you believe. Every morning, before the world places its demands on you, your mind is especially open. This is when gentle affirmations can sink deeper, not as forced ideas, but as reminders of what is already true. Affirmations are not meant to convince you of something you do not believe. They are meant to guide your attention. When you repeat calm and trusting words, you slowly train your mind to rest instead of rush. You shift from fear to openness, from tension to ease. Starting your day with affirmations creates an inner environment where miracles can arrive. Not dramatic miracles, but meaningful ones. A calm conversation, a clear decision. A moment of peace when you expected stress. These moments matter more than we often realize. Simple words spoken with sincerity can soften the heart. When the heart is soft, it listens. When it listens, guidance becomes easier to feel. You do not need many affirmations. A few honest ones are enough. You can gently say to yourself that you are open today, that you trust life to guide you, that good things are allowed to come to you. These words do not force anything, they simply invite. When affirmations are spoken from a calm place, they carry a different energy. They are not demands. They are agreements with life. They say, I am ready to receive, instead of, I am desperate for change. Over time, these small morning practices shape how you move through your day. You become less reactive. You pause more. You notice opportunities instead of obstacles. The outer world may not change instantly, but your experience of it does. Miracles often arrive through the ordinary. Affirmations help you notice them. They remind you that life is not against you. It is responding to the energy you bring. The mind understands through images as much as through words. When you imagine safety, your body begins to relax. When the body relaxes, the mind follows. Visualization is not about escaping reality. It is about reminding yourself of what calm feels like. When you imagine being supported, your nervous system receives the message that you are not in danger. This sense of safety allows trust to grow naturally. Trust cannot grow in tension, it grows in calm. Seeing yourself carried by life rather than struggling alone changes how you relate to challenges. You stop feeling abandoned by uncertainty. You start feeling guided through it. Visualization helps you feel what words sometimes cannot explain. It helps you experience trust instead of just thinking about it. That experience stays with you long after the image fades. When you practice imagining flow, you remind yourself that effort is not always required. Sometimes allowing is enough. Sometimes rest is the most powerful action. This inner sense of safety becomes something you can return to throughout the day. Whenever stress rises, you remember what calm feels like. You remember that you are supported. Calm is not weakness. Calm is strength without tension. When you live from calm energy, your actions become clearer and more effective. You are no longer driven by urgency or fear. Life responds to calm energy in gentle ways. People communicate more openly, situations resolve more smoothly, opportunities appear without force. This is not coincidence. Calm creates alignment. When your energy is calm, you stop chasing, you stop pushing, you stop trying to prove, you simply show up as you are. That presence is powerful. Calm allows you to listen. It allows you to sense when to act and when to wait. It helps you move with life instead of against it. You do not need to remove all stress to be calm. Calm grows when you choose peace in small moments. One breath, one pause, one softer thought. Over time, calm becomes your natural state instead of something you visit occasionally. From that state, life feels more cooperative. You feel less alone. Gratitude gently closes the circle of trust. When you thank life, even without knowing what comes next, you affirm that you are supported. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present. Trust deepens when gratitude is practiced regularly. You begin to see how much has already carried you this far. You realize that you are not starting from nothing. You are continuing a journey that has always been guided. Ending your reflection with trust does not mean you have all the answers. It means you are willing to walk forward without fear. You allow life to unfold instead of demanding certainty.